Yo, what's good, basketball heads? It's your boy Crush. So let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors, their current matchup and future matchups. You know, just a few days ago, the Warriors went up against the Grizzlies. They came out on top, barely. Ja Morant got hurt, and you saw a lot of their flaws. They struggle with size. You know the Warriors, they like to play small ball. That's their game. And you saw that the other night, going up against the Grizzlies. They had a lot of trouble with Zach Edey in the paint. The dude is tall as hell. They had to double team him, triple team him. That man was going crazy in the paint. He had 17 rebounds. So they had a lot of trouble with him. Somehow they managed to come out on top because of Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry was big down the stretch. Now they're about to go up against the Houston Rockets. And that's going to be a very good series. That series is going to be very interesting. But I choose the Warriors to come out on top. Why? Because of experience. Jimmy Butler, he's been to 2 finals. He's been to Eastern Conference Finals. Stephen Curry, he have 4 championships. So he's been to the dance many times. Draymond Green, Steve Kerr, he's a championship coach. So with all that experience, when you put that together, I feel like that's enough to overcome the Houston Rockets because they're all young. They're all young. This is their first time in the postseason since James Harden left. So it's been a while. And I feel like the Warriors, they have the advantage because of experience. You have a lot of veterans on the team. They know how to win. They know what it takes. But that series is going to be very fun to watch. Now, my worry is Şengün and Houston playing big ball because, like I said, the Warriors, they struggle with size. If you have size, you will bother them because they love playing small ball. That's their whole schematic. If they could force you to play the way they want you to, then they got you. And that's normally what they do. You know, they'll force you to change your playing style to theirs. And once you do, it's a wrap. You're in deep waters, basically. If you play big ball with a center, as we saw with Memphis and Zach Edey, they were having issues all night trying to guard that dude, trying to keep him out the paint, off the glass. This man destroyed Looney on the glass, on the boards. He's too big. So if you play with size against the Warriors, they struggle. So it's interesting to see what Ime Udoka, what he comes up with, his plans, his schematics. Steve Kerr, his plans, his schematics. We already know they're going to play small ball, but to see what plans Steve Kerr comes up with. But I feel like the Warriors, they will win. They're going to beat Houston in 6 or 7. This series is going 6 or 7, minimum. This won't be a 4-1 gentleman sweep, no. This is going to be a dogfight. And then the inevitable will happen. The Warriors versus the Lakers. They're on a collision course, and it's just a matter of time before the Warriors meet the Lakers. That's going to be another 6-7 game series, minimum. This year's playoff is very interesting. I don't see the Lakers and the Warriors going no less than 6. Who will come out on top? I don't know because the Lakers, they have a pretty good team with Luka and LeBron and Austin Reeves. The Warriors, they have a pretty solid team with Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and it all comes down to defense. Which teams play the better defense? And we know Luka, he's compromised defensively. He's slow-footed. He don't really try that much on defense. LeBron, his defense is subpar, but it's just a matter of time. It's funny how the Warriors and Lakers never met in the first round. If the Warriors defeated Clippers, they would have played Lakers in round 1. But it's like the inevitable because they're going to play in the second round, more than likely, unless Houston has something to say about that. So it's a collision course. LeBron, Luka, Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry. The ratings is going to be off the charts. Everybody is going to be locked into that game. The Lakers versus the Warriors, that is must-see TV. LeBron versus Stephen Curry, that is must-see TV. So I am sure Adam Silver is rubbing his hands like Birdman, like super excited because there's money to be made around here. If the Warriors end up going to the finals, that'll be special, man, especially for Stephen Curry. But that's a very slim odd. I don't know if they could overcome LeBron and Luka. It's a 50% chance, but I'm not sure. But you saw the struggles, man. Zach Edey was giving them a fit. they were having a fit trying to stop that man because he's too big, he's too tall. The Lakers versus the Warriors, they're on a collision course. That is if the Timberwolves upset the Lakers. That's another possibility. If Ant-Man have something to say and he decides to go nuclear, MJ mode, who knows? Or if the series goes 6-7 games, that could also wear down LeBron. He's older. So I can't wait for the playoff to begin. This is all interesting. The Warriors, they'll definitely beat Houston. I'm not too worried about that. As far as the Lakers, it's going to be a 50-50. That one is down the middle. Also another issue everybody's been talking about, Steve Kerr not playing Jonathan Kuminga. He's been in the doghouse. I don't know what the issue is, but the man have been DNP'd, and I don't know what the issue is. They could use his services in certain situations, but he's getting no playing time. I don't know what the issue is, but if Stephen Curry is able to overcome LeBron and Luka, that would be damaging to LeBron's career, man. Just to say, Stephen Curry defeated you once again, that would be damaging. So LeBron can't afford to lose to Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. For the Lakers, it's the Western Conference Finals or bust. You could more so say the finals, but I'm just saying it's the Western Conference Finals. They have to make it to a Western Conference Finals. There's no way around it. And they have a pretty decent path. The Timberwolves, you should be able to knock that team off. The Warriors, that's going to be a dogfight, but you still have the better team. The possibility of the Lakers going to the finals is pretty high. But I can't wait, man, for the games to begin tomorrow to see what Jimmy Butler does, what Stephen Curry does, how the Warriors look against Houston, especially since Houston got some size with Şengün and others. And Dillon Brooks, he's going to be a pest. He's going to be a nuisance. So this is getting real interesting, man. Now we are going to really need playoff Jimmy. We saw playoff Jimmy the other night when he dropped 38. He came out focused, and that's what they needed. If Jimmy Butler never went off for 38, almost 40, 45, the Warriors would have still been in the play-in games right now. Literally. If playoff Jimmy didn't come out early, they would have been in the play-in games. The reality is Jimmy Butler is going to have to be playoff Jimmy every night. Every night. He's going to have to score about 30 plus every night in most games. You can't score 20, 18, that won't do. So he's going to have to come out aggressive, which I'm sure he will. And his mindset should be, I got to score the basketball. Because you know how Jimmy Butler is. You know how he is. Half the times when he needs to be aggressive and look at the basket, the man is trying to set up his teammates, which you should, but you got to know when. At times, you need to be a scorer. You need a scorer's mentality. You can't always thinking about, I got to pass the ball. And sometimes he falls into that trap. He becomes very passive and he won't be aggressive trying to score the basketball. He's trying to distribute, and sometimes they need him to put the ball in the basket. So I'm going to need him to be very aggressive and focus on scoring the ball. I got to score, man. I got to put the ball in the basket. That's the only way they'll have a chance. There's not a lot of margin for errors. Not with this Warrior team. And Stephen Curry's older. He's 37. Jimmy Butler's 35. Draymond, they're all older. So the margin for error is very slim. Can they possibly make it to the Western Conference Finals? Yes, they can, but it's a slim possibility. They would have to get past the Lakers, and that series is going to be fun to watch. To see LeBron and Stephen Curry go head-to-head one more time, one last time possibly, that's going to be fun. But as always, I holla. As always, we just talking basketball. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, holla at your boy.
It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about the game. I'ma say it. It's all about the game.